Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown here with Ryan Graham,
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber,
Hello.
and this is State of Atlanta. Tim forgot his beer. I forgot my beer as well.
No, I didn't. It was all so I have bug bites on my ankles and like my feet.
Yeah, I didn't say your name at all. I said Tim's name. I wasn't talking about you in the least.
Oh, I
Got
thought
Tim
you-
forgot
I was
his
having
beer,
trouble,
and
I
I
just
forgot
put
my
this,
beer.
like, antihistamine on my fingers, and I realized I couldn't open the beer.
Because you're all
It was
slippery.
all lotiony, yeah.
Slippery. Been having a good time over there, huh? Yeah.
With antihistamine lotion, no.
That's a new one. That's a new one.
Hey, we all have our vices, right?
Hey! You know what? Don't knock it till you try it.
Exactly.
Whatever gets it done. Whatever gets it done. All right, guys. I feel like this is an episode where we can just go ahead and call it quits right now and head over to last call because I'm not sure anything I have to say meets a PG level rating, which is what we're supposed to keep this as. So,
Yikes. Well, I've only had like 2 sips of beer, so I need like more than last call.
all right. What did you think of the game on Saturday?
Not much.
Ranger
All
played
right.
slightly better. That's about it.
I did tell David not to let me talk shit about Granger this week
Why not?
because he
You-
played pretty solid. I thought the major mistakes that Granger made were not Granger's mistakes. They were his receivers dropping passes, and that overall he played a pretty solid game. And our defense, our offense overall scored 41 points. You should win the game with 41 points.
You'd
Period.
think so. And you should have some
Yeah,
special teams to make some field goals and extra points.
Coach came in after the game and said everyone has some share of the blame here, and I disagree. I think offense is off the hook.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
the offense played well. I kind of wanted to put it 50 against Coastal, but that's kind of a
Drat.
yeah, that maybe
I don't know if that's
I
gonna
admit that's a bit of an extreme there, but yeah, offense. You could say they got their job done. Tim is absolutely right. Special teams is what cost the game again.
Terrible teams. That's what we'll call them.
Substandard teams. Yeah, so the thing I looked at it was we lose the game by a point. We missed a point after early on in the game. All right, okay, that happens. But then if it wasn't for that point being missed, we wouldn't have gone for it. Two different 2-point conversions that we missed. Everything else, we make that extra point in the game. Everything else happens the exact same way. We win the game by 2.
Yeah.
Like,
There was also the where the immediate touchdown after that missed field goal. We went for 2. And then there was a penalty called on us, and it went back some. And then we decided that we were just going to take the point. And mathematically, at that point, it didn't make any sense to do that. No matter what, it was like, why are you not going for 2? I know you're not as close, and that the percentage went down, but mathematically, it actually made no difference to get that point. And so they should have gone for 2 no matter what.
Carl
I agree.
Offense was outstanding, and then goes on to say that the defense was absolute garbage. I agree. Yeah, Tim, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say we had over 600 yards of offense. When's the last time we've had over 600 yards of offense? I can't even recall. Like,
I know
did
there was a
Granger
game.
have a pick? He did, right? He had a pick and he got a blindside tackle, a loss, fumble, touchdown. But outside of that, he played slightly better than last week, which all I want from Granger at this point is to keep improving week to week. So he's doing it.
I cannot answer your question about the last time we had a 600-yard game, but I can tell you it was probably Coastal last year. But I do remember that Nick Arbuckle led a 700-yard game when one of his first year or second year, I think, on the team.
So
that was like getting all it. Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah, it was. I don't know. I was talking to Chris about it the other day as well, and there was a lot of penalties that that showed an undisciplined team. And if you look at the compare the two teams, the penalties are pretty much the same. I think we had a couple of more, but the yardage we had is only 10 more yards in penalties than they did, so the number doesn't make that big of a difference. But yeah, just that many penalties for nearly 100 yards. That's that's on the coaching staff for an undisciplined team, right? That's how that factors in. That's what you say.
I'm pretty sure that's what everybody who knows more than us, they always say. That's what they say out loud whenever there's a lot of
That's why
penalties,
I'm
that it's a
repeating what
coaching
someone-
problem.
We actually had less penalties and more yards for penalties this game. So we're about the same. We didn't fix anything, right?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. So this game, like I went into this, I was telling people at the ribbon cutting ceremony on Thursday that this is a game where, while I'm not predicting a 52-10 win, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Like I was just expecting a complete blowout. This was going to be lopsided score. We're going to right the ship after the two bad losses or narrow losses against P5 teams, and it was like if this thing had happened the exact opposite, if we would have been winning by 1 point, I would be slightly less depressed having this conversation right now. I would still be really upset about it. I'd be really, really upset. Like, yeah, I'm glad we edged out a narrow win, but man, that team is not what we need to have to compete in the Sun Belt, especially in the East Division.
I don't think this would compete in the West Division.
That's a good take.
Actually, it might. It might compete in the West Division. I don't know.
I think the team still has an opportunity to surprise us.
They do.
Like last year we started really sorry. We won this game. David told me when we were talking about this, but like so we came into Sun Belt play 1-3, I think. So like we might be a little bit less good right now, but we're still in decent shape as far as the season goes. Like there's still opportunity there to have a good season.
Yeah,
I feel like they saw
Go.
No, I feel like they saw the Vegas odds and the team just kind of lackadaisically walked into Saturday like we're just supposed to win. And Charlotte showed up. They had their starting QB that was out for 2 games, come back in, and we made him look really good. Like
against
really good.
Crappy defense, yes. Yeah.
What defense? I don't know. There wasn't any defense. That's where I was stuck. I was like, every receiver for him was wide open, no pressure.
And running backs just like made whatever lane they wanted. I mean, they'd zigzag. It seemed like to me was in slow motion through our linemen, through our defense, and just like would pick up major yardage. And I'm like, there wasn't even a gap. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, go get the ball. Like I don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at, Tim. I think that it seemed like the team may have been overlooking this game. I hate that term. I hate that whole thing because I don't think any team truly overlooks any opponent. But something like that. There was some mentality about that. Maybe just the days of practice, that everything, the effort wasn't put into it as it should have been. I don't know. I'm going to be really even more upset if we go into this Coastal game and they don't come out in the very first game and get like 8 penalties, just beat the ever living piss out of Coastal in the very first series. I don't care if it's the kickoff or whatever. Just start like if you see necessary roughness when they realize they've got no more time to play and they start drop kicking players on the line. That's what I want to see. Or was it Georgia? Was it with Rick at Florida? When he's like, if you don't get an excessive celebration penalty, if we score on the first touchdown of the game, then like, you're running laps or something. Like he was forcing them. That's what I want. I want to go out there and just beat the ever loving snot out of them on that first play and show me that they care about this as much as we care about it. Because that's what I didn't see on Saturday. I did not see a team that cared as much. Coach Elliott on the sidelines looked to really, really care about it, but the players just didn't seem to care as much as we had cared about it for the 12 hours of tailgating we put into the game.
We put in a lot of effort for this game. The team did not show up with equal effort. That's it.
Yeah.
They didn't show up.
But we'll segue. The tailgate was phenomenal. David brought his smoker. Pizza was from the Sebelias was in full force. And we were, it was
and then
awesome.
A full Piccadilly cafeteria buffet in between. The smoker on the left, the pizzas on the right, and anything you ever wanted to eat at any kind of Ryan Steakhouse or anything was a Golden Corral was all in between us. It was too much food, and I don't know how, but I didn't come home with any ribs. Like they all got eaten. I didn't come home with any. I came home with nothing. I normally always come home with food that ends up going bad over the week.
Yep.
I came home with nothing.
You made 8 racks of ribs, right?
Oh yeah,
You might have been giving
And
ribs away to a lot of people. I don't know. You were a
I
little
ate one.
intoxicated. Yeah,
I ate one rib. I ate one
Dude,
rib.
they were excellent.
they were
Excellent
good.
ribs.
You should have had more than one of your own ribs. I don't know.
I feel like I'm kind of like the Adam of the team, where I just kind of one rib. I say that's giving one rib away. I gave away a crap ton of. That's a really bad
You
analogy.
gave away all the ribs. Yeah.
I should have thought about
The
that
only
before I said
thing-
anything. That was stupid.
The only thing we're missing was a chocolate wonderful
Chocolate
from
with
Golden
waterfalls.
Curl. Yeah,
Yes. Those things have got to be having so much like listeria running through.
they're gross.
Yes. Someone's like put their shrimp through there or something. Like, hey, what? How's this work?
Can you imagine all the flies that go into the beef frontlet?
Speaking of flies, man, at the tailgate, we go to pull the ribs out to start getting those prepared for the smoker, and I have never seen that many flies at one place. And I've been to landfills, I've been to like sewage places. I've never seen that many flies at one time. They came out of nowhere. But I think whatever
like
you and
60
Max
seconds,
did,
right?
in no time. It was like 3, like, oh my God, this is so bad. And then the next thing you know, there was like hundreds of them. But whatever you and Max did, like your little experiment to capture them in the trash can worked, because it wasn't a problem for the rest of the day.
I learned that I can fan people and or meat products and or flies really well for a long period of time. So
Yeah.
top skills I got to
that
add
was
to my
good.
resume right there. Yeah.
So unfortunately, I don't think our tailgate will be anywhere near the caliber this week that it was last week.
The midweek games are tough, and I feel like people, if we had, won 1 or 2 of the games before, people might be a little bit more excited. Probably 2 people would be more excited. Like, I think we expected to win Charlotte. If we had won one of the Carolina games, I think people would be even more excited and maybe taking time off of work. But as it stands, I just, begged my boss not to put anything on my calendar after 3. And however early that ends up making me, that's how early I'll get there.
I do think the unexpected loss to Charlotte's going to hurt attendance, honestly. Like, I think people saw that, whatever that was. And, they might have been on the fence for a Thursday game. They were thinking about it, but I think it makes it that much easier to say, nah, I'm good. I'll come to the next one.
Yeah, I think that the Georgia State fan base, like the fence sitters of Georgia State fan base, they'll look at that loss in the column before they look at the score. And if they look at the score, they see it as a 1-point game. They see it's 2 teams scoring in the 40s, and they're not going to dig into what the game was. And, honestly, why would they? You're 0-3. That's just not a sexy sell on a Thursday to get downtown for everything. I get it. It's a bummer. I'm going to miss it. It's the thing we talk about all the time. There's so many other things going on in Atlanta. It's hard to, you got to have a really quality product to attract people to beat out everything else. And I'm not sure if Georgia State will get to the point where they beat out Elton John, but they have not gotten to that point yet. So I'll be at Elton John on Thursday and missing out on the game. I will be following along closely on my phone while Rocket Man and Billy, all the different awesome songs are played.
So if we were 3-0 right now, would you be skipping Elton John?
I would feel so much more comfortable about skipping Elton John. I'd be like, I'm going to miss not skipping Elton John, about skipping the game. I'd be like, I'm missing the game, but I know this team's going to win. It's going to be no problem at all. Now I'm like,
but if we win, can you come back?
Well, I mean, depends on when the concert's over, when the game is finishing up. I don't know. I would assume that Elton John's going to play for a while.
Yeah, if we win, you'll have to go to Elton John every week.
Travel.
It's going to fly around the country.
that does follow the college football superstition logic. I agree. We're actually, depending on who you talk to, what you look at, Vegas has us as a underdog in the game against Coastal. I think it opened up like at 1 point.
Them
1.5 point. Now it's like 2.5 points. But ESPN's little mathematical computational black box machine gives us like a 52% chance of beating Coastal on Thursday.
So I think they're throwing away the Charlotte game. And they're just looking at the first 2.
they processed this the day before.
That's all I can see. I do want to give a little bit of reprieve. We did have some injuries. It's hard for teams to adjust to that, especially a G5 FBS team. But I don't know. I still feel like we can turn it around. I didn't like the performance. I actually wish that none of that ever happened. I was like hoping at halftime we'd make some magical adjustment on defense that it just didn't pan out. But I actually feel okay about the rest of the season if we can make some changes and adjustments. That's all.
Every time I was counting us out of the game and just ready just to, pack it up and take off, which I was going to stick around for the end of the game. Something would happen and we'd come back and we'd keep it close. We'd take a lead. We'd be right there. And then immediately afterwards, it'd be a run back touchdown or something. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? But yeah, we got return of Sam Pinckney and his pops here is going to be coming down to the game. I'm sorry that I'm going to miss you as well. Sam Senior or Sam Junior, I guess you're Sam Junior, not Sam.
Yeah,
Junior.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah, so that's how you put his name on there. So yeah, I'm sorry that I'll be missing you at the game, but I can't even say we'll see each other in the championship game because that's not how the divisions work. But yeah, I'm excited about seeing Sam back here. I want him to have an excellent season as long as he just doesn't win the game. He can run he can catch for 500 yards in this game on Thursday as long as we win the game.
No touchdowns.
No touchdowns and we win the game.
I was kind of hoping he'd have the runs and didn't make the game, just
I want him to get his minutes in. I want to see Sam do well. But no, look,
NFL?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see him in the NFL.
Totally.
I was looking at Coastal's schedule because we talk about all the time about over these past 2 years how Coastal's gotten all this national praise, but their schedule's been hot garbage, and us on the exact same schedule would perform. I'm not saying just as well as, but way better than we did with our schedule. And so they've played Army, so they're 3-0 against Army, Gardner Webb, an FCS school, and then the Bulls, Buffalo Bulls. I apparently typed Buffalo Bills, and they've won all three of these games, but their wins are not that impressive. Their strength of schedule is pretty garbage. Those three teams over the course of the season have gone outside of Coastal or have gone 2-5. They're not good teams. And those 2 wins that those 3 teams have are against FCS teams, I think, because one of the teams that Gardner Webb beat was like the Limestone Saints. And I don't know if that's an FCS team or a lower division or not. Never heard of them before.
That might be D2.
Yeah, exactly. So although Coastal's 3-0, they've beaten some teams that are pretty hot garbage.
I mean, this is what I've been saying all along, right? Coastal is just not that good. Now they've got Sam Pinckney now, and we all know that he's right. Good, and we know that their quarterback is really good. So that's going to be a combination that we're going to have to shut down somehow. But overall, that team has not had a lot of very impressive wins over the past 2 seasons, and then to open up, not a lot. So, right. I think they're probably right that I think we got a good chance at this game. It just depends on if all phases of the game decide that they would like to play. Or at least 2 of them. Just pick 2. Come on, special teams ain't gonna get it done, but let's offense and defense click. Okay.
We can't let special teams lose this game for us again.
That's right. That's right. They're gonna try, and we can't let them.
Can we break the home team curse? Is really the big question, right? Because neither team has won at home, right? Yet so far.
We have to. Has there ever been a season where a head coach was not on the hot seat, but the first year special teams coordinator was on the hot seat? Because I feel like that's what we're looking at right now.
I just really can't understand how we have been so bad on special teams with now that added attention in practices and stuff like that. It just doesn't make any sense to me how we could be worse. Right. Is he trying out confusing things? Is it and we used to just be more simple? My brain, I don't know enough about football to know, but it flabbergasts me.
I guess, what do you guys think? Looking back to last year's special teams, it wasn't spectacular, but I feel 3 games in, it was decent amount worse this year. Yeah. This year we're not as good. Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. We hired somebody for, I assume, a low 6-figure salary to improve the 1/3 of the game that we've not been paying attention to. And that game, that third of the team has cost us 2 games so far. So
Well, and it's a limited slot because you can only have a certain number of coaches too. So
and the salary
using
pool
up
is
one of our
limited.
coaching slots.
Exactly. And so offense has, while at times struggled, has played well. The defense has played well in 2 out of 3 games, I guess. The special teams has just not done anything to look any better. In fact, looks worse than last year. So
maybe we go to Australian kicking style. What do you think?
Yeah, what is like the rugby
so.
like?
It's like you run to the side and you kick. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are great. And they're like low and long.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I don't know why that didn't become the standard.
Low and long. That was my nickname in high school.
God. Are you right? Is that the title?
Well, the title was going to be, fire special teams, but
seriously, I think getting punters from the Australian rugby circuit out there, like if you go watch a game of Australian rugby, not or Australian football, which is not rugby, and those guys, I mean, they're such good kickers under pressure. That's like what the game is kicking the ball under pressure all the time.
If Georgia State wants to give me a payroll to go and fly to Australia to recruit,
you guys scout
Australian football players, I'll do that. I'll do that for them.
Yeah,
we may have to change the time we record the episode though.
Right.
I think 9 in the morning.
Cynical Peach has a good comment about our scheduling.
There we go.
Our over scheduling. Do you have that up?
Let's see. Georgia State overscheduled this season, 2 straight P5 to start the season with no breaks in between. The moral victories meant nothing, and we need to stop reckless scheduling. That's a weird thing about
next year.
Yeah, next year's
easy start.
Scheduling is done so many years in advance, and when that UNC, so the South Carolina game was, we'll give you $1 million, $1.5 million, whatever it is, to come play us. So you take that game because that's just where we are in our level of football. But then UNC offers a home and home at a time where it appeared they were going to be getting like, a death sentence type thing from the NCAA, which turned into like a slap bracelet, not even a slap on the wrist, a slap bracelet.
You just take it off.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, my bad. And so they got Mac Brown in there, and they beat the snot out of us last year, and we should have won this year, whatever. I don't know. I agree. I don't like the back-to-back P5 scheduling. I don't like the idea that we must schedule an FCS team. I would rather have a G5 team than an FCS.
So you don't like the start to our next year's season then, huh?
Rhode Island does not interest me at all.
No, not one bit.
On Thursday too.
But I think
what does interest me about Rhode Island is it's on a Thursday to start the season, and it means it interrupts basically none of my Dragon Conning for the weekend. So now I can spend the rest of the weekend fully focused on Dragon Conning.
There you go.
I think that UNC getting them at home is, something that that was probably someone's stretch goal, was getting a P5 program to come to our house to play. And that's a win. I mean, that's a win in scheduling, for the athletics department, even though we didn't win on the field. So it's not like, I think there are some moral victories there, and no, they're not worth it. Like, I would really just like to beat them. But we've shown that we can beat them. And I think that you got to keep playing them and then like getting out there, and eventually you're going to start winning these games as you get better and better and better. And when you're recruiting, you say, we're going to play these teams, and you're going to get a chance to go beat them. And look, we've already beaten Tennessee, so we can do it, And so you start getting better recruiting, and you're playing where you want to be, not like where you're at.
Yeah, and like you said, we've never hosted, up until this point, we have never hosted a P5 team at home. So as soon as a UNC or any P5 team is kind of like, oh, we'll do a home and home with you, you really don't even look at the rest of your calendar. You're like, yes,
please.
We take that option.
What contract do I got to break to get you in our house?
Right.
Yeah. So we've got Vandy coming in the future. We've got Georgia Tech coming in the future. I want to say there's another school we've got coming in, another P5, and maybe I'm making that up. But this was the first one. You take that opportunity. It's a tough schedule, but looking at what we did, we could have won those games. We could have won at least one of those North Carolina, South Carolina games. North Carolina
should have won one of them. Yeah,
we a couple plays away from winning both of them. I mean, we played well in both of those games.
We're some special teams away from winning both of them.
Yeah,
which is why I expected such complete domination against Charlotte this past Saturday, and I just using your word, Ryan, flabbergasted about how we did not just beat the snot out of them, send them back on their bus with a broken axle. Like this should have been a no contest kind of game.
Joe Gilbert, you got to schedule the big schools in order to beat the big schools.
Right. I think a key point here is our history on playing P5 schools, right? Like, go back a couple of years in the past, we're not competing. We're getting blown out big. Like, we're actually competing in these games over the last couple of years right now. I think that's progress. So you keep scheduling them. You want to win those games, and you're getting close a lot.
Yep.
In the aggregate, I'm with you, but in the here, the right now, the sitting here at 0-3, man, it sucks really bad.
It feels horrible. Sure.
Yeah. We're gonna get a big test.
We know we can win those games, and we know that we can come back from 0-3 and have a really good season. So, like, season's not over. We have plenty of runway, and I know people keep saying that all these teams are better than Charlotte. It's any given Saturday. We play different every single week, and we have different matchups, and injuries happen, and there's all these different variables that go into it. But we know that Coach Elliott has it in him to go kick everybody's ass and be like, now play. Now it's time.
And we've seen him dress out in full pads. So maybe actually he dresses out.
People were complaining about that. I thought it was great. I still think it's great.
I thought it was fun. I'm glad he did.
Yeah.
I think maybe the worst thing about losing this game was we may not see those black jerseys for a while, or they may be considered tainted or bad luck. But they were sexy as hell. The guys look great out there in those jerseys. So, you say burn them, Tim? Burn the jerseys down? Yeah, because we got money to burn. Well, don't burn them. Give me one. Give me one that I can wear.
Not to a game, though.
Not to a game.
That could be the jersey. Who knows? You can't take that chance.
I think overall, Ryan, are just what? No student. You get a shirt either?
I didn't get a shirt. I just almost said I didn't get no shirt. Beer's kicking in. The students were giving out black T-shirts with Panther head and Atlanta on it, like the jerseys
sweet
had, and like I put that offer out there on Twitter for someone to bring me one, and it was a no-go. So, what were you gonna say, Tim?
No, I said Ryan are just trying to polish the turd we are right now. Trying to make us look a little better than.
I mean, I'm usually really hard on us.
Glossing that peanut.
Yep, trying to gloss the peanut, trying to
gloss the peanut.
Find that silver lining.
Knock the rust off.
No, that's only for basketball.
I think Charlotte knocked the rust off of us themselves.
Well, one could hope.
So actually, there was a question answered, Ryan. I know you did not see this because you kind of strayed from everything in Georgia State until Tuesday nights. Was that the coach of Coastal admitted to being the one who ranked Georgia State first in the East because he thought that the number of seniors and super seniors. At least that's what he said in a tweet that I saw. That he said that.
Well, he knows how bad we beat him last year.
Yeah,
true.
By what, 3 points, 4 points, something like that. But yeah, he said he brings us first because of the number of seniors and super seniors. So, and I think that's kind of one of those kind of gambling type things. Kind of like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to toss in this bone. That way I can select the better man when I do my interview before that game a week ahead. So, but question answered, was not Coach Elliott.
Elliott already answered that and said it wasn't him, and I believed him once he said it out loud.
He could lie. That could be Coach.
Coach ain't gonna lie about that.
The game was moved to ESPN too.
It's huge, right? The game was on before.
it was on the U, so it was still going to be carried on, ESPN, but now it's on ESPN too, so that's going to reach a lot more households. I don't know how many people are going to tune in to see an 0-3 Georgia State team, but it's cool to be out there. And if we lose, probably wish it wasn't out there. We don't have a good record on national TV. We don't have a good record in general, but we don't have a good record on national TV.
So just disconnect the cable signal so they can't broadcast.
Right. So Tim, I wrote this down specifically in my notes for you because I know Tim. I know Ryan's answer. So Ryan, you can just hush up. Is this a must-win game, Tim? Wow, dead air.
Oof, it's one of them.
Well,
it's not a must-win game, but if you drop another game, you're now pushing. You're gonna have to take like 2 of 3 from the teams you thought you weren't probably gonna win against. So, is it a must-win for a bowl game? Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah.
We're not. I mean, if you look at what our predictions were earlier in the season, we all had us beating Charlotte. Pretty sure, right? I think each one of us had one win at minimum in the first 2 games. Maybe I didn't. I had 0, but I thought we would get out of non-conference play 1-4, 2-2 at best. Army and Charlotte were our wins. So a lot of the wins, a lot of the 50-50 games now become must wins, and you got to now steal a game from that upper echelon that you thought, man, we're not going to win more than one of these.
I had us 2-1 at this point in my initial
2-1
season.
Wow.
Yeah, I had us winning at South Carolina. Remember?
Do you think that there's any team that's ever started off? I'm not predicting a loss on Thursday, but if sure we lose, do you think there's any school outside of one of the Carolinas that started their season 0-4 to all Carolina schools?
I can't imagine. Probably not.
So all right, let's call the Guinness World Book of Records. Let's get something out of this. Let's get a ranking or something. All
but
right,
I do
so
have us winning this game.
Wait,
you do?
I want to know. You told me you know what my answer was to that question. I want to know what my answer would be.
What is
you were going to answer the question without answering it. Like you were either going to say something along the lines of "They're all must-win games."
100%. That's it. No, you don't have to go on. That was
okay. I didn't need an or. That was it. They're all must-win.
That was
games.
it. They're all must-wins.
They're not must-wins when we're winning them all.
Just win, baby.
When I go through this and I think about conversations that would be held at a bar, I can hear Ryan just kind of shooting down everything I'm saying and be like, they're all must-wins, they're all this, whatever. And so that's why I was like,
how is that shooting down? It answers your question.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Thursday is a must-win because we are playing
I was trying to
and we need to win in football. We got to win.
Yeah. So Tim,
we got to win Army. Yeah, we got to win Army too.
So, yep.
Tim, you're calling. We talk about Army next week. So Tim, you're calling a win at home against Coastal. Ryan, what you got? What are you saying?
Oh, for Coastal?
Yeah.
Win. Still a win. I don't think they're that good. I still just don't think they're that good. And I do still think that we are good enough.
Yeah. Well, the team, Georgia State may be 0-3, but State of Atlanta is 3-0 and calling the win this Thursday night. So, yeah. I think it's I think Coach Elliott is right now still tearing some asses up in the locker room. Like it's just been a nonstop.
Can we
just
like phrasing?
Caning of the players in there. And if any man in that locker room is able to walk after what's happened to Coach Elliott is gonna is gonna tear it up on Thursday night at Center Park.
And they need to report it to HR or whoever you report
after the win.
No.
After the win.
You suppress all that, Ryan. Come on. He did seem extra pissed off on the post-game presser, though.
I could feel it. Like, it was real how angry. Like, he really gives a shit. And you could tell, like, it was, like, oozing. He didn't know how to deal with how mad he was.
It was also, like, a huge amount of embarrassment feeling, too. Like,
probably.
Vegas knows things, right? And they said, hey, we're 19.5-point favorites. We made Vegas look stupid. Vegas is probably pissed at us too. I'd be.
That's got to be his biggest loss since his first game against Tennessee State to open up the stadium, right? Or
probably. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think we've ever been. FCS. Yeah, but have we ever been 19.5-point favorites in our stadium? I don't know. Fun fact questions.
Probably not. Probably
yeah.
not. Do you guys even give a shit about what the other Sunbelt teams did last week?
Nope.
Not really. I mean, there was some stupid play that they quote practice that they didn't practice to, beat Troy State, whatever. Good for them.
Appy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Appy barely won. They won by 4 against Troy. So Appy possibly.
Watch out for Troy.
Whatever you want to call it. Well, we don't play them, so we don't worry about it. The closest team in conference, and we don't play them because thanks Sunbelt.
You're going to play them in the championship. What are you talking about, David?
Play Troy in the championship? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's an easy drive either way.
I still have Appy as a loss for us.
That's the one that's the one going into the season that I really thought we were going to win. That was the one I really felt good about us winning, which is why I wanted to go up there to the game. And why we are. All 3 of us are going up to Appy State. Anybody wants to come party with us. And also, if anyone wants to get us a hotel room, because we haven't booked one yet. So
it's probably bookable, right?
I'm sure.
It's not ski season.
Not yet.
And it's a Wednesday night game. Come on.
Wednesday night game, yeah. I guess back in the day, I would know what TV shows I'd be missing on Wednesday nights, but I guess TV shows don't come out. It doesn't really matter what day they come out anymore. You just watch it whenever you want.
Well, Thursday we'll have She-Hulk.
Yeah, we can watch that on the way back. We're driving down Thursday morning. We can watch She-Hulk in the car.
Ooh.
That'll take up 20 minutes of the car ride.
Well, it depends. Aren't they variable, or are they all really short?
I mean, they're 20, 25 minutes, but yeah.
Yeah.
Tim and I went down to the Convocation Center on Thursday for the ribbon cutting ceremony and got to get into the box, the warehouse, the new basketball home for Georgia State. That's pretty cool, man. That was super duper cool.
Awesome. Great facility.
Yeah.
Ryan, don't hate on
it. The one thing that was weird to me about the whole deal was, Ryan or Tim, there's only one row. So all the seats in the stadium have cup holders in front of them, on basically the floor by the seat in front of you. There's one row, and I don't know why, one row that has cup holders in the armrest. It's not like it's down low, front row seats or some crap like that. It's just this one row towards the back has cup holders. And because I'm an alcoholic, that's the things I worry about, is where my beer is going to be while I'm watching it.
Where's my cup holder? Seats. Can we have those seats? We don't even know yet, do we?
Yeah, I think the seat selection is going to be October 15th or 22nd, I think the rumor is. So we'll figure out where we're going to sit. But it's nice, man. It's nice. Tim was nervous there wasn't enough concession stands, but there's one more than was at Sports Arena. Technically one more than the Sports Arena.
It's a big facility if it's packed out for 4 concession stands.
Yeah.
If you have hawkers or portable stands, you can bridge it, but
if they're gonna be selling beer and they have beer tubs around the concession stand,
that's what I want.
That fixes a lot of that problem.
Expedites our beer too.
I drove by tonight after dark, and they had all the lights on inside, and so you could see inside really clearly. And I just was thinking how cool it would be during game time at nighttime with a crowd in there, people milling about and all that stuff, with people driving by, and there's a big happening. It does seem really cool in that aspect.
I'm gonna be Ryan now. I'm be like, but why aren't they inside there themselves?
What do you wait? So you're gonna be Ryan when I just said what I said, literally.
Yeah,
they're actually. So Ryan, they're actually installing the floor now.
Cool.
The final basketball floor is being installed.
Well, we already saw it put together somewhere else, right?
Yeah, we did. But
yeah,
now it's going to be in its home. It's frightful.
It looks good. I like it. I like it a lot. So I know. There's differing opinions.
It is
I think
unique.
it's the sex. I think it's the sex.
There we go.
I love it.
I agree. I'm on board.
Yes. Yeah.
It's Panther Garden. There you go.
Is that what it looks like?
Yeah, it's kind of like the Boston Garden.
Boston Garden.
Oh,
That's not what I
okay,
would've-
okay. Yeah, I had no idea what you were referencing there, but yes, that makes sense.
Like the Olive Garden?
No, it's the what's the New
unlimited
York one?
breadsticks. I could get down on some unlimited breadsticks of the game.
What's the
It'd
New
be
York
good.
one?
Madison Square.
Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, maybe.
That's regular
No,
court.
I know, but
exactly
that's what the garden is. I
Oh.
think.
It's
I literally just learned there was another court called a garden.
Boston Garden, really?
I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not a big basketball guy,
All right.
especially pro.
I think it's called TD Garden now.
Why?
Probably, I don't know, TD something, right?
I
Some
don't know.
company.
Trash down
Oh,
garden.
like TD Ameritrade.
There you go. They bought the front end of it.
Ah. That's a
All right,
shame. I think you like leave stuff up like that, like maybe you say like TD Madison Square Garden.
Exactly. I'm excited for the arena. I wonder. I really want to know what the game time is of our Halloween Day exhibition game.
It should be a day game. It's gotta be a day game, right?
It has to be, right? There's no way they would do that to anyone.
It's a Monday, but I still say Monday do a day game. I will gladly take a day off and drink some orange beer outside of. We're getting a parking deck. That was found out while we were there. We're getting an actual parking deck outside of the Convocation Center, not in the blue lot. An actual deck outside of Convocation Center, 900 spots.
Tailgating on the top, though, right?
How many people do you have to get in your car? How many people does every person need to get in their car for a 900 spot deck to fill the stadium out? Because it's 8,000, so that's under 10. So 8 people a car. Everyone's got to drive minivans. If everyone drives a minivan,
No entry without a minivan.
Yeah. Ryan can walk over. He can edge out the numbers, so we're good there. All right. On to other sports. Men's soccer now receiving votes in the top 25 nationally.
Woohoo!
They
That's
would
nice.
Technically be 29th in the nation, state, country, nation. I was right the first time. Nation.
How many D1 teams are there that play soccer?
5
I
billion,
imagine it's-
Ryan. There's 5 billion teams.
At least 64. I don't know.
No, I imagine it's a pretty good number, but I think it matters when you say like we're 29th. If it's 29th out of 30, then it doesn't mean as much. But I'm sure there's more than 30.
Well, we
I
know
just am
there's
curious.
60. We know there's 60 something beach volleyball teams, so there's definitely more men's soccer. But then
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
205.
Or 205. I was gonna say you're not wrong. We know that like a lot of the P5 programs don't sponsor soccer. Georgia doesn't sponsor soccer, but like South
Right.
Carolina does.
Yeah.
No, but
But 29th is good. I just was curious what the implications were. So, but
That's
I'm excited about it. I think it's awesome.
I mean,
yeah, the guys are 6-0-1. They've not lost a game yet. They're on a 5-game win streak. Congrats to the guys. Women also doing well. They have one loss to Georgia, and they have some ties, but still they're undefeated. Oh, I should say they're not. I can't say they're undefeated. They're one loss. They're a one-loss team at this point. So I think it was Taylor in our group chat, our Patreon group chat, was talking about how until Georgia State wins a football game, or until basketball starts, or until the men's or women's team lose another game, we're a soccer school now. We are a soccer school, Georgia State soccer school.
said no school ever.
No, Marshall has been bemoaning that they won the national championship last year or 2 years ago or some crap like that. And during all the realignment talk, they're talking about how they're not sure if they want to go to a conference that doesn't sponsor soccer because they're a soccer school. And I'm like, you guys may pull 3,000 to a soccer game, but no one else really cares about it. I'm sorry.
Dude, we don't even sell tickets.
you just walk in, right? Is there even like a gate? Anyone kind of like checking people as they come
you
in?
just walk in. I actually I thought somebody would care, and I think I even brought like a clear bag just because I'm used to like football. But I am positive you can just bring a cooler if you want.
Nice.
Oh,
I like
for
it.
sure. You for sure. You saw coolers there.
I don't know if I did.
Oh, they said you did. But yeah.
You had one though, right?
So
I didn't bring.
So
I did
can-
not bring a cooler, but I learned that I could have. There was security there. They weren't checking any bags. They weren't checking anything people were carrying in. I don't know why a cooler would be stopped.
we should try to like go to. I've been saying go to soccer games forever, and we never do. Or I never do. But
I'll
we
say
should
I
go
did.
there. Like
I did now.
you did. So you did the first entry. Next time we go, we bring a cooler, and if that's not stopped, we just get like a wheel, a keg in, and a bucket of ice, and just like walk in there and just see. Just see how far we can go until just start wheeling in a little mini bar fridge and what they.
No, I was gonna say like a full bar, like you get a rolling bar and just roll that in with a bartender,
PCU style.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. We'll steal the bar from some event
On campus person we don't like.
Exactly. I was trying to make a Cheryl Levick joke, but obviously
some
she's been gone
dean
for a long time. So, yeah.
Some dean throwing a hoity-toity party will steal their liquor.
You mentioned that, Tim. What Mark Becker said during the ribbon cutting ceremony.
Mark Becker was there.
He was.
Becker was there. He came in town just for it. He was savage.
To whom?
Tim, you want to go, or you may
tell me about it?
I mean, well, so he said that, we talked about opening the Convocation Center, how great it is for the best basketball team in the state, which drew applause, of course. And then he said something effective, and football's getting there. Right? Is that what he said?
I can't say that about
can't
football
say this
yet.
name for football. He said they're getting there. So,
but it was like, and there was a little oohs and ahs in the crowd. He was like, well, that's Charlie's job.
Just first name only.
I was like, wow.
He's like, I don't work here anymore.
Once you're no longer here, you can say whatever the hell you want to say. Like, all right, let's not invite Mark Becker back to anything.
Here's the most important question: was he wearing his leather jacket?
No,
that's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. It was a pretty hot Thursday afternoon in downtown Atlanta, so I don't blame him for not wearing it.
He's at a basketball game, basically. He should have been wearing it.
Well, was he though? Was he at a basketball game?
Basically.
Oh, basically. Yeah.
He was there for basketball.
I guarantee you there was not a basketball inside of that facility when we were there.
Mm-mm.
So
not even in the locker room.
We didn't get in the locker room.
I did.
Did you get in the locker room? After I left? Bastard. No one likes you. And you posted no pictures of that, did you?
No. The away locker room was surprisingly nice. I was like, can you guys make this look worse? I don't give him a closet or something. This looks way too nice for an away team.
I suspect that's probably to be nicer for other events we may want to host. That's what I
just need to tear it up before basketball season, and then make it look nice for other events.
Remember, did you ever tour the Georgia Dome back when we played there, and they showed the Falcons visitor locker room, which was the Georgia State home locker room?
Yeah,
it was like a bunch of like blue spray paint and like a white line here and there, and like a little red underline in this spot or that spot, whatever. And I'm like, I guess it gives Georgia State something to be their home, but it's also like, whatever opposing NFL team is there, they're like, what the hell crap are we in right now? I guess Giants fans may have liked it or something. I don't know.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What else we got?
We'll close out really quickly. Softball starts this week. So good luck to the softball team. We got Truett McConnell this weekend on doubleheader. And
really?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
There's a game scheduled, doubleheader scheduled on Saturday at that what they called Heck Field or Heck Stadium. I know it's named after Coach Hack.
I loved that there was a black. Well, I guess there wasn't a blackout on Saturday, but we talked about it being a blackout, and Max wears her Heck shirt, which is great, but it's white.
Yeah, well, she's a softball alum, and she played under Coach Heck, so it makes sense.
No,
Makes
and she
sense.
designed the shirt, and it's a great shirt. It's got all the names
Oh, yeah.
of the players on it and stuff. It's a really cool shirt that she
But
she
it's a push-up.
designed.
It's a push-up. It's a push-up Panther though, so it sucks.
It's the super
Ooh.
awesome push-up Panther. Yeah.
Yikes.
Push-up Panther, yeah.
It's good. It's a good shirt, but for a blackout to wear the white was a little funny.
I think it was an optional blackout game. I don't know. A lot of people were wearing black. Some people weren't. You know.
Apparently, it never got actually marketed as a blackout. It got marketed as the team will be wearing black, but the fans were never asked to wear black by anybody in any official capacity. Ben went around telling people to wear black, which, you know, I don't know if he was encouraged to do that or if he just wanted to see a lot of black or what. But
was he even
so
wearing
basically
black?
What?
No,
was he wearing black himself?
I don't know. You know what though? His mom and dad were, or his dad was.
And his mom. And it was his mom's birthday.
It was.
I think she was wearing blue and white stripes.
Yeah.
But dad was definitely wearing black, and he had like dark black shades too. He was going. He went in on it.
Retired dad was there to party. He was there. He was like, this is my fun times. I like it.
He's like, this is usually a work day, and I'm having fun.
We definitely won tailgate of the game, but we didn't.
No, we definitely did not win tailgate of the game.
Well, that's some last call complaining, I think.
All right, we'll save it.
So since the game is going to be on a Thursday, we record this on Tuesday, it releases on Wednesday. I'm going to release last call immediately for everybody. Normally a Patreon benefit. I'm going to release it immediately so that people can get a chance to listen to it before the game on Thursday night. Also, I'm going to normally we stream it just to our Patreon members. I'm going to stream it to everybody tonight here after we finish up here in a few minutes. So a little... I guess what was like back in the 80s, you had like your free cable night. You get free HBO for a weekend.
Watching Real Sex. Yeah.
Taxi Cab Confessions. We're definitely heading into last call content. All right. Yeah, because I got one other thing. All right, cool. Yeah, we'll do a last call. We're almost an hour in. Thanks, Brad, for listening. We are going to hit a last call. You can find it on patreon.com/stateofatlanta. And this week it will be available immediately to everyone, just because the game is on a Thursday night. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Please consider subscribing to our Patreon. We have a few spots left at $3 a month. Once that's up, it's going to be $5 a month. So get in there while you can. Get access to our private group chat, which is a lot of fun. Discuss some merchandise. Like I said before, early access to last call and whatever else we can do. So thank you, everybody, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.